नई दिल्ली 21 नवंबर 2024 ओ पी जिंदल ग्लोबल यूनिवर्सिटी जेजू गर्व के साथ भारत के पहले संविधान संग्रहालय के उद्घाटन और राष्ट्रीय संविधान सम्मेलन के उद्घाटन सत्र की घोषणा करती है, जो शनिवार 23 नवंबर 2024 को ओ पी जिंदल ग्लोबल यूनिवर्सिटी सोनीपत में आयोजित होगा। यह ऐतिहासिक आयोजन लोकसभा अध्यक्ष श्री ओम बिरला, हरियाणा के मुख्यमंत्री श्री नायब सिंह सैनी, केंद्रीय राज्य मंत्री कानून और न्याय श्री अर्जुन राम मेघवाल और ओ पी जिंदल ग्लोबल यूनिवर्सिटी के चांसलर एवं सांसद श्री नवीन जिंदल की गरिमामयी उपस्थित जेएनयू के चांसलर श्री नवीन जिंदल ने कहा, हम इस संविधान संग्रहालय को राष्ट्र को समर्पित करते हैं ताकि भारत के युवाओं को संविधान को ज्ञान के प्रकाश स्तंभ के रूप में अपनाने के लिए प्रेरित किया जा सके, जो हमारे देश के भविष्य को दिशा देता है।
History, our freedom struggle and how it culminated in our constitution. Third is to pay tribute and celebrate the contribution of the members of the Constituent Assembly. Many of us, if I ask you who are the members, I'm sure you will mention Dr. Rajendra Prasad, Sardar Patel, Pandit Nehru, Dr. Ambedkar, Maulana Abdul Kalam Azad, and a few more. But that's it. You might know 10 people, 15, 20, but there were 300 people. There were 300 outstanding individuals who were part of the Constituent Assembly, and we want to pay tribute to them, and that is the third objective of the museum. The fourth objective of the Constitution Museum is to recognize the fact that some of the most important institutional imaginations of Haryana, Mr. Saini as well, and along with our Chancellor, Mr. Naveen Jindal. Now, to begin with, surrounding the museum, we have established the Constitution Gardens. These gardens are beautiful landscape which has been created again looking at ground cover and shrubs which reflects the diversity of India. The pluralism of India is reflected in these gardens, and I'm going to skip those things, but you will come and see how it looks like. It's all done. The presentation has been made now when we already have it in physical structure, in actual form on campus. All right. So around the Constitution Gardens, we have developed a number of outdoor sculptures, each of which is reflecting a thematic aspect of the Constitution. This is called the We the People of India, the evolution of India from Stone Age to the Bronze Age. Rajesh, an artist, has done it, and it's beautifully installed in the museum. Then you have another one called Insaf Ki Devi, which is again made out of scrap metal. Nishant Kumbatil has done it. Then you have another one called Triad of Unity, reflecting the lion capital of Ashoka, but also connecting to the three principles of unity, justice and sovereignty by Harsha Dugada. Then you have another one called Echoes of Liberty. These are all outdoor sculptures installed in the Constitution Gardens. Gautam Rahul has done it. Here you can trace the history of the Indian freedom movement, but also the culmination of the Constitution as well. Then you have another one made by Pradeep Jogdan, which is on the theme Equality Before Law. Then you have another one by Deval Verma, which is actually a map of India. Of course, also through scrap metal, reflecting frugality in the evolution of our own culture. Then you have an outdoor sculpture called Frame, of one of the original copies of the Constitution. You can actually take a selfie here, take a photo right there. This is also installed in the museum. Now, as you look from the museum from outside, we are paying tribute to different forms of Indian art. Sorai, Gond art, Bill art, Tanjore painting, Kalamkari, Pachachitra, Madhubani and Pichwa. These different forms of Indian art are being paid tribute to, but by celebrating constitutional values in which we are recognizing liberty, justice, equality, democracy, unity, secularism, sovereignty and fraternity. All these constitutional values are being celebrated through the various forms of Indian art. Now you actually come into the museum. The museum has 3 galleries. The ground floor is called the Constitution and Kaleidoscope. The mezzanine floor is called the Makers Gallery, and the first floor is called the Freedom's Journey. Let's go one by one. The ground floor is the main floor where you will see the entire evolution of the Constitution in terms of its original ideas that the Constitution has promoted. You begin with by a beautiful artwork called Portal, which is made by Jaipur-based artist called Wolf, and this essentially is drawn from the preamble of the Constitution. This particular art form, if you see the original preamble, you will find this art form there, and that has been used to signify the entry into the museum itself. Then, at the heart of it, we have one of the original copies of the Constitution. Some of you may remember that after the Constitution had been signed, there were 1,000 plus photolithographic copies were made, and we happen to have one, and that we have displayed at the heart and center and entry into the museum. A very distinguished artist, Benin Balai Gaja, has made it. There is a pedestal in it, and we have placed the Constitution on the pedestal, again signifying
or a mere lawyer's document.
all right. Absolutely free of cost. We don't plan to charge anybody any fee for access to museum. This is part of our commitment to public service and public interest. So, and in any case, we want to build, greater civic education. We need to be able to invest in ideas of the constitution, and that's why we're doing this. So, इसके लिए हम लोग कोई charge करने के लिए कोई plan ही नहीं है.
So how much did it take? How much money did you spend?
I mean, I don't want to talk about the cost of it. It's a lot of resources. So, but we were fortunate that we had a building. So definitely, if it was built in a city or somewhere, it will be much more expensive. But we were fortunate that we had a campus facility. So, and also the timeline in which we finished. Normally, these type of projects might take several years. But we were able to, we worked 24/7. We worked 6 months hard. There were like 600-700 people working 24/7. But we were able to do it much faster because of that.
If you don't have any fee or entry fees, then how can you recover the?
We have no plans to recover at all. This is our commitment to the nation. I mean, 75th anniversary of the Constitution. In fact, this is not something for Mr. Jindal. This is his fight for the right to fly the national flag was also that. These are not causes that we intend to do it for any recovery. This is our commitment to the country and the cause, and especially because 75 years of our constitution is a very big milestone. And I think, and one of the things, I'm a law professor and a lawyer, I'm quite amazed by the fact that when I talk to a lot of young people in high schools or others, they know very little about the constitution. And so how do we make people understand? And not everybody is going to be a lawyer. So if we have to have young, people or others who are doctors, engineers, or other professions, we need to tell the story of the Constitution in a manner that they also understand, appreciate it, and that's why museum becomes part of our national cultural heritage. Professor Dr. C. Raj Kumar, and the founding Vice Chancellor of OP Jindal Global University.
सर ये यूनिक आइडिया आपको कैसे सूझा और किन लोगों के सहयोग से कितने टाइम में आपने कंप्लीट किया और फर्दर क्या आपके उद्देश्य है इसको लेकर?
ऐसा है, हम लोग का जो भारत का जो संविधान है, ये इस बार हमारा जो 75th एनिवर्सरी है संविधान का, तो कुछ 6 महीने पहले जो हमारे जो सोच में एक बात आया, और इस साल तो हमारे लिए भी एक बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण साल है क्योंकि हम हमारे यूनिवर्सिटी का जो 15 एनिवर्सरी भी मना रहे हैं. So we were established in the year 2009 and 2024 is our 15th anniversary. So उस टाइम पे एक सोच निकल के आया कि हम क्या कर सकते हैं हमारे यूनिवर्सिटी के लिए भी और देश के लिए भी. Or it so happened that this also coincided with our 70th anniversary of the Constitution, and quite remarkably, ऐसा कोई इस टाइप का म्यूजियम हमारे देश में है नहीं. तो then it was a thought process, and जैसे थोड़ा research किया, फिर then I really was inspired by a visit in Philadelphia, जो National Constitution Center करके अमेरिका में फिलाडेल्फिया में एक बहुत ही अच्छा इंस्टीट्यूशन बनाया गया है. उधर we went there and we were very impressed. So we thought that we have such a rich history, such rich heritage, and जो 300 जो लोग के ऊपर इन्होंने जो मिलके जो बनाया गया है, and उस टाइम पे इतने challenges थे. At that time you were thinking about the future, and so we want to pay tribute to them. That was the main objective. And उसके बाद we brought in curators. So one of the lead curator of the museum is a lady by name Anchita Nair, and of course there are, as I said, over 600 people involved, sculptors, painters. ये जो आप देख रहे हैं ये बहुत ही complex work है. This is not just a library type books. Layers and layers of intricacies are involved, and different types of experts are involved. They are just not, some of them are scholars, some of them are researchers, some of them are lawyers, some of them. Then I have an international board of advisors. That board has several former chief justices, several former Supreme Court judges, several lawyers, several academics, sociologists, political scientists, historians, anthropologists, and they have also contributed to it. So it's a massive effort. Actually, we are very fortunate that हम लोग इस साल में कर पा रहे हैं. So I will be most happy and satisfied when all of you come to campus and experience the museum, because it's an extraordinary thing. You cannot, no presentation can do justice to what you're going to see. It's phenomenal. And we had this presentation, of course, 4 months old when it was a dream, but now it has become a reality, and the museum is ready. And as I said, on Saturday morning, it will be inaugurated.
इसीलिए मैंने ये सवाल किया आपसे और दूसरा ये था कि
Our invitation, and he will be the chief guest, and he will be formally inaugurating the Constitution Museum and the Rights and Freedoms Academy at OPG Global University on Saturday, the 23rd November at 10 a.m. We will also, and we are having the distinguished presence of the Honorable Chief Minister of Haryana, Mr. Saini, as well as the Honorable Minister for Law and Justice, Mr. Arjun Megwal. All three of them will be present, along with the distinguished presence of our Chancellor and benefactor, Mr. Naveen Jindal, who is also a member of Lok Sabha from Kurukshetra constituency. We have a number of international experts along. As I said, that inauguration is also the same day we are beginning the National Convention on the Constitution of India, where the first panel will have 5 Supreme Court judges, sitting judges of the Supreme Court, followed by several other panels with former Chief Justice of India, former Supreme Court judges, and other Supreme Court judges also in the course of the next 3 days, and lawyers, law academics, members of parliament, and others, public intellectuals who will be discussing and debating various aspects of the Constitution of India, including some people from the media as well. The detailed invitation, including the program, has been given to each one of you in your bag. Please feel free to look at it, and we will be very delighted to host you on our campus. And of course, these days if you come, there is no registration, so you feel free to come and be part of the museum experience.
Thank you very much.